I used to customize my own drum kit. Every time I would get bored of the color, I would take the whole thing apart and repaint it or something like that. And I started thinking, well, drums sound the way they do because of the vibrations that are going through the shell. And I was always wondering, well, how can I make a drum resonate better or even possibly sound better with the traditional methods, which is having a bunch of lugs basically clamped onto the shell. And the idea popped into my head that the best way to do that would be to have those lugs be part of the shell. And after spending years in the virtual design phase, I met the right people and I met the right team, and we made that thing happen.
Stratasys Direct Manufacturing is a contract manufacturing company. We build a lot of 3D printed parts for a lot of very high-end clients, and even on down to your backyard inventor. So in the case of Dan's drum shell, we wanted to leverage the advantages of 3D printing and print all of those different components as one single body.
It does the thing that I always thought it would do if it could be made. I open the box up and I see the drum in there. I just couldn't believe that this thing that I had been working on in the digital domain was actually there that day. When everything's all assembled and you put it next to a top-of-the-line snare drum that I had previously been using on tour, the first drum that was printed stood right next to one of those traditional drums, and we ended up sticking with the first print from Stratasys Direct for the last 2 years.
FDM stands for Fused Deposition Modeling. It's actually a technology that was developed and productized by Stratasys. It'll give you a much more robust selection of materials, and Dan actually wanted to try out a bunch of different materials for reasons of sound and acoustics, so he wanted to hear the timbral changes based on whatever material he was building the body out of.
This drum was the first prototype that is a functioning product, and then this drum just printed using a different method and a slightly different material sounds drastically different.
We're constantly getting approached by our different clients that are just pushing the boundaries in ways that we didn't even think of. At Stratasys Direct, we continually work very closely with our clients. If they call us, they're getting an engineer on the phone immediately. That project engineer gets to know them and their needs, and then from that point, it just grows.
You can kind of feel them behind the care of this project. They were thinking in the way that I was thinking, which is like, let's stop for a moment, and how do we make this possible? How can we make the most of what you're trying to get out of it? I'm able to see that there are possibilities out there to do more than I'm even able to think of right now. The possibilities are pretty much endless. I can't wait to see what other people will do with this in the future.
If you had a project or a particular idea in your head that you couldn't necessarily bring to fruition, say 10, 15 years ago, try to dust that idea off and bring it over to us, and we'll see if we can make it happen by using 3D printing technology.